All right, hi everyone. It's good to be here. My name's Gareth Pearson, and I'm here with my good friend, Mr. Derek Sammak.
Hello.
And we're going to be talking about the development of my artwork from my 3 albums that are released on Candyrat Records. We got Urban Echoes Vol.1, Urban Echoes Vol.2, and lastly, a tweak on Antique. So what we're going to do is just go through all the files that Derek has awesomely saved over the last couple of years, and we thought it would be a good idea just to talk about the development of that. So before we begin, I just want to say how about we met each other, and we met at the Canadian Guitar Festival. That's right, Derek?
Right, yeah, but first I discovered you on YouTube. So I was kind of fanboying over you, a little 17-year-old. I don't know how old I was, something like that. Found you on YouTube. I think it was probably the Blue Smoke video, the promo video that you had where you're playing in the park.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I was really inspired by your guitar playing. You were, I was kind of just starting to get into fingerstyle, and you were clearly like much further along and much more advanced in your playing. So I think like a lot of people, I was inspired by your playing, not only your skill, but like just how young you were and how, you're definitely like paving the way for a lot of young guitar players. So I discovered you on YouTube, and then, I discovered the Canadian Guitar Festival. I probably through you, honestly. So I went out there to compete, and also to see you perform, and I kind of knew a couple other people that were on Candyrat. So that was kind of how, on my end at least, how I kind of got to Canadian Guitar Festival. I was kind of like following in your footsteps, so to speak.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for the. Didn't realize I had that much of a significance in your travel plans.
Yes.
So, so yeah, we met at the Canadian Guitar Festival, and it was kind of cool for me to be there to see so many people that are interested in the same thing. You're not going to get that in Cumbria and South Wales. People that have a keen love for just solo acoustic guitar music, but I ended up going there. I was invited to perform there. That would have been, when was that, 2009?
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool for me because I met Rob Poland, the owner and founder of Candyrat Records, there and then, and we discussed about possibly releasing my first solo record through Candyrat. So I kind of like showed him the material I had, and we kind of just got cracking on with making the product. And of course, once you have the product, you need to have some kind of artwork. And I remember we already had like a good friendship, and we kept in touch after that. We would chat quite often.
Yeah.
And I remember expressing my concerns. Like I was feeling quite stressed because I didn't know what to do with artwork. And that's when you kind of came in and explained like what you've done in the past. You were working with like Drive-Thru Records or something like that.
Yeah, I guess at the time, so I was like 19 or something. I was probably my first year of school. Like I was going to college at the University of the Arts in Philadelphia, studying fine art. So at the time, I had done a lot of stuff for kind of like pop punk bands, designing T-shirts and album artwork and websites and that kind of thing for more like pop punk type bands. So I had never done anything for, in the guitar community that I was starting to, really get interested in. So I probably showed you some artwork or some T-shirts that I had done, and then I kind of found out that you really liked a lot of the Drive-Thru Records bands also, which was interesting because it's not really what you would expect if you're into fingerstyle guitar.
Yeah, well, it's actually interesting because I think that's why we connect a lot as well. Like I think we shared the same love for emo music roots and pop punk music. So
yeah,
when I found out that you were into all that kind of stuff, and like you kind of kept it secret, and in terms of like what you've done in the past, I just knew you as just a friendly guy that loved the same guitar music as me. But as soon as you told me about your past kind of working experience in making T-shirts and working with these bands, I think you've done stuff with like Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah, I did a couple T-shirt designs for them when I was in high school. So it was weird for me to have that work out, because for me it's like I would just approach at groups that I liked, same way with you, like I liked your music and I just wanted to use my art skills to be able to help you. So that's kind of just was my approach. I would just find bands that I liked and just see if, try to see if I could, make artwork for them that would help boost their brand. So it was kind of a similar thing, but you I wasn't expecting you to be into that kind of music also.
Yeah, well, it's funny. That was the music I was listening to before I discovered fingerstyle music.
Yeah,
and
me too.
I remember, I used to listen to all those kind of bands because my brother was a significant influence on me in terms of what I was listening to, and let's see. I remember he had someone lined up to do the artwork for me,
right?
And then I said, "Oh, I'm going to have Derek do it." And he immediately was like, "Oh, just don't go with someone like someone you don't barely know. Like, what work has he done?" And then you sent me the portfolio. I showed it to him. He goes, "Yeah, you should definitely work with Derek."
Nice.
And he just like subtly told the person he had lined up, like, "Oh, now we got it all sorted." So here we are. We're currently now working with each other to do the album artwork for Urban Echoes Vol.1.
Right.
And was it called Volume? Yeah, it had to be. I come up with the concept Urban Echoes Vol.1 because I was kind of mirroring the influence I have over the styles of like Chet Atkins, Jerry Reed, Neil Travis, and of course Tommy Emmanuel. And I wanted to kind of have an album where it was 6 of my own pieces of music and 6 arrangements and covers of basically contemporary songs that haven't been arranged on acoustic guitar at that point.
Right.
So if I look over it now, like I had songs like by Weezer, Michael Jackson, Radiohead, MGMT. So it's kind of like there was like a modern feel. So I was like Urban Echoes, echoing the past kind of styles, but with the urban sounds of what you have today. So I remember explaining that concept to you, and you got it immediately, and you just I think we started bouncing off ideas.
Yeah, I remember you had the title and the idea of it, and I don't think I had heard any of the arrangements yet, though. I think that's where that was like the entry point, from what I can remember. Is like you had the concept, you had the title of the songs, and you were telling me like, yeah, I'm gonna do like a Weezer cover. I'm gonna do what is it, Postal Service?
Oh no, that's on the second album.
Okay, yeah. So what were the well, I guess I could bring it up, right? And we could bring up the artwork. We could look at the track list. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Might as well dive into it. So let's see. This is literally my hard drive, so I'm sharing my screen here. So we're just gonna. It's pretty organized, but we're gonna just kind of freeform it and jump through all the different files and the different iterations. So we're just gonna show you guys behind the scenes of the process. So let's see where we got. So let's see what the final one was. I know we have a couple versions. So here's the final artwork, and it's a I think they called it a slip sleeve. I forget what the actual. So this is folded in half, and these two panels on the top are folded over. So this is actually how it's prepared when it goes to print. So even though these are upside down, they get folded. But okay, so it was Buddy Holly. Yeah, that was the Weezer one. So let's go through the track listing here. Blue Smoke, Buddy Holly, Chinese Whispers, Every Time We Fall, Thriller, Little Rogue, My Fragile Dancer, Paranoid Android, Time to Pretend, Billie Jean, Adrenaline Rush, and Beauty of Discipline. So 6 of these are originals and 6 are covers, correct?
That's right. And I'm trying to think now, did I come up with the concept, or did you come up with the concept that we would have artwork that blends into all the themes of the song? Oh, sorry, all artwork that takes all the like song titles and mirrors them and kind of puts into something that blends into one imagery. Like, I'm trying to think, did
Yeah,
I?
well, I think,
Or did you?
well, I mean, I think when we were originally talking about styles, like you were starting to tell me about how you were into comic books, I remember.
Right.
So I remember hearing that and just kind of latching on to that idea because I really like drawing in that sort of illustrative comic book style. I grew up just with a Sharpie and drawing on my notebooks and that kind of a thing. So when I heard that you were into that, I kind of latched on to that visual style. And from there, I think I don't remember how we came up with it. Maybe I started showing you some initial ideas, but I think you had this image first, this photo of you, and I think we kind of worked around that. So I think the idea was like, oh, let's put you kind of in a comic book world. I think we both kind of agreed that was a good direction. Do you remember do you remember any bit of that process, how we got to the idea of like you being in a comic book scene?
Yeah, well, I think that was it. You mentioned we need an image first. We need something of you before I even begin.
Right.
I want to have an image. So I think I called up my friend Sean Thomas, and we just I think we hired a studio space.
Here it is.
In Glamorgan College, I think, which is in Wales. And yeah, I'm holding a Martin guitar that my old agent, he gave that to me as a gift.
Right.
And I no longer have that guitar anymore, but
right.
Yeah, I use that for the artwork. I just love the look of it and everything. So as you can see, to create the illusion that I'm flying, I used two studio chairs to sit on, one for my bum and one for my feet, and I got my hand over my head as if the just light is too much for me to handle. So that was the pose that we went for.
It's interesting too because I didn't give you any direction in terms of what to do with this. I think that the idea was that we wanted to have an image of you that you could be in a comic book world, but this was your interpretation of what that meant. Like, I didn't tell you to like this. I remember you coming back to me. At least I recall you coming back to me with this image, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't plan this composition or this pose at all. You sort of came up with it, and then so it was a lot of like we would come up with an idea, and then you would interpret it, and then I would take that and then work with it.
Right. Well, just like any photo shoot, I think we were in there for like an hour taking shots.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was just a random pose we ended up doing. But like, there was stuff of me sitting on the chair, standing up, doing some crazy ass moves and all that. But
right.
I think like this is the one. I think after looking over, it's like I gotta send you something, and that was the one I ended up sending you. And
nice. Yeah, it's really
just like make it work.
It's cool. It's really dynamic. Let's see. I definitely have the Photoshop file here, but I don't know if I'll be able to quickly snag it. But okay, so we got that image, and then from there, I used that as I sort of arranged it. I remember arranging it in this square in terms of the composition, and then from there, I started just envisioning a world that I would build around you, and then I just started thinking of how we could illustrate visually, have a visual representation of each of the song titles. So kind of coming up with characters and visual symbols to represent each song title. So we could kind of go through each song title. I don't know if we have one for each song title, but
we're pretty close.
Yeah.
I want to know, first of all, where did you start? I can't remember. Did you start with the Chinese Whispers figure? do you remember how you started it? Because it's pretty.
I don't remember. It's a good question. I think I probably put you on a building first. I probably grounded you like on the actual building. But I don't really remember. I'm just trying to think if I were to do it now where I would start, but I don't know. I think it just started to happen. I'm trying to see if I can find the original Photoshop file, which might have a little bit more information in it, but let's see here. It'd probably be artwork 2. Maybe this one. This is usually how we work too. We just go for it.
Right.
Well, we could zoom in. Yeah. So I don't really have any layers or anything, but a lot of it honestly was done. I remember what I did was I printed this out. I printed out the this shot of you, and then I just pretty much all of this, like, there's really nothing that's photoshopped. It's literally all hand drawn, and then I just photographed it again. And so none of these elements were like photoshopped in. It was literally just like I printed this out, this image of you here, and you know, like, if you could imagine, this was just on a white canvas, and then I just started drawing around it. It was kind of like, you know, it was just that against white. And then I just built the whole world around it.
Right. Well, let's start talking about the world. I can already see certain things in this. There's so much detail in this. It's incredible. So, like, let's just go. Like, what we could do is just go from each title,
right,
or just start picking apart. Like, I can see in the top left corner. Can you zoom in on that a little bit more?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe just get the full image in one thing.
Like this here?
Yeah, just
yeah. Let me close this.
Yeah, okay.
Get a little more screen.
Can you zoom in on that just a bit more? Just the actual. Make it larger.
This side?
Yeah, just get, like, in terms of get the entire artwork on one screen. That's it. Awesome.
Nice.
So in the top left-hand corner, we got the Chinese whispers. So we got a funky Chinese guy. So what influenced that? Because that's like a very unusual.
I don't know, man. I don't know what he's doing, but he's got like chest hair, and he's wearing like some kind of white t-shirt kind of thing, if you see that, and his belly button's out. He's strange. He's got this like this hat, this like Chinese hat.
I should explain what Chinese whispers is.
Yeah,
it's basically in North America you would call the game broken telephone, but Chinese whispers in the UK is the same thing, where like you whisper into someone's ear, and someone would come up with a concept. People are sitting in a circle, a group. You come up with a concept, whisper in someone's ear, and it's supposed to be whispered all the way around until someone reveals the final initial whispered idea,
right?
And hopefully it is the same as the original one. So that's what that song's about.
Nice.
And so I can see the guy's got his hand around his ear to like initiate the what you're saying, kind of thing.
Yeah. Hold on, keep going. I gotta do something with my this will be fun for the video. My smoke alarm keeps going off, and I have to hit the button so that it stops.
Yeah, get that sorted, please.
Yeah, here we go.
The blue smoke alarm.
If I die, then we got it on camera. All right, should be good now. I gotta change the battery in it.
Well, actually, that is a good segue. As you can see, that's a good segue from the
blue smoke.
Chinese whispers guy is puffing out blue smoke.
Even though it's not blue, but you could imagine it's blue.
Well, at this point, everything's black and white. So I think that was an artistic direction you made as well. Instead of color it in, or just keep it black and white.
Yeah, easier.
Yeah, easy peasy lemon squeezy. So yeah, so the Chinese guy is puffing out blue smoke.
Yes.
And yeah, use your mouse for a second to indicate where do you want to go from there.
Well, then we have the thriller
Okay, so
Wolf?
you can see underneath there, yeah, you got the werewolf. Because in my Thriller recording we did for the intro have the werewolf sound effect going on. So Derek managed to pick up on that, which is why it was important for you to hear the music while doing this.
That's true.
And that's is that a moon in the background there as well? It's like howling at the moon.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously it's a full moon.
Full moon.
That's how werewolves are created. And
I remember I tried to hide. It doesn't really communicate, but I remember attempting to hide like a Thumbpick. You see this here? I remember trying to do that. It didn't really.
Oh, man, that is awesome. I didn't even notice that.
Right there, there's like a Thumbpick.
Yeah, I see.
Kind of shape.
I've been living with this artwork for 12 years now, and I never even knew that.
Gift that keeps on giving.
Keeps on the gift that keeps on giving. So that's coming into now. Actually, let's go down the Thumbpick. You got a little sheep that you threw in there.
Right. This is the Welsh tornado here.
Welsh tornado. Obviously, the sheep indicates
Welsh.
A negative term for what a Welshman is or does in his spare time. But I love the fact that you threw in that anyway. A little sheep in a tornado.
Yeah, like barely looks like a sheep. It's just sort of.
I remember you told me that, and I think you were like, "Are you going to be offended?" But I was very offended. But at that point, it was already in the artwork, so let's just roll along with it.
Nothing we could do. Nothing
we can do at this point. But it is attached then to scale. Can you go down with the mouse? You kind of go in. You're following into the Fragile Dancer dress, I believe.
Right here. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that dress then kind of comes around me and kind of links me into the song or the artwork, I guess.
Whoops. I was gonna see if I could yeah.
So
yeah, she kind of
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. Yeah, feel free to jump in if you want to talk, if you see anything.
Yeah, no, I was just because it kind of goes in this direction, but then it also goes up here too, you know? So it's like this whole weird interconnectedness of everything.
Did you say that's the little rogue? You wanted to do the little rogue that's starting the echoes in the water there?
Yeah, if you see here, there's this I don't know what his deal is. This guy here, he's holding this Chinese whispers guy is like a balloon that he's holding, but he's sort of, I think that was the little rogue, and he was there, and he was kind of creating this whole ripple of the echo that kind of goes throughout the whole urban landscape kind of thing. So yeah, that was the little rogue guy, or supposed to be what it represented.
Right. And I think you told me on those buildings that are kind of going up, is that the Billie Jean tie?
Yeah, that's the tie that's in the pavement in the music video. There's a tie or a bow tie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's there.
He wears a red bow tie in the video.
Strange.
And then you got the Time to Pretend. Oh no, are you kidding me?
Your camera went off?
I didn't record the camera in the corner there.
You didn't record it?
No, let's start all over again. No, just kidding.
It's all right.
So anyway, we got so the Time to Pretend clock is linked in with my feet there.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the artist? Is it Diwali?
And the interesting thing, I don't know why I decided to actually draw your shoes. So instead of using the photo of your shoes, which is right here. See, that's the photo. I drew them for some reason. I don't remember why, but just a little fun fact.
Oh, fun fact. So that's melted in with the Time to Pretend clock.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's kind of like you got the, okay, so top right-hand corner, there's a lot going on there, which I think is super cool.
Yes.
You got 3 images working as one, I think. You got the paranoid android robot.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing a Weezer hat with Buddy Holly glasses.
Yeah.
And the mouth is the top of a lamppost.
Right.
From the Billie Jean video, and the detective from the Billie Jean video is leaning up against the lamppost.
Yeah, we stole a lot of imagery from Billie Jean.
Explain how you come up with that.
I don't know. I really don't remember. I probably started with the robot, and then I probably just added stuff to it. So it's kind of like drawing things and then trying to link them symbolically with something else. So it's kind of just like you start with one thing and then you just layer on top of it and try and find ways of connecting it, sort of making it work. Like, this is barely a guy. I mean, it's just like, if you looked at the shape of it, it's like, what even is that? But it's just sort of an illusion, I guess. But yeah, it probably started with this dude, the robot, and he's got the boxing glove. What was the boxing glove about? Why?
I have no idea why you did the boxing glove. Oh, I know. But, it's because of the Welsh tornado. It's a nickname Tommy gave me. Mm-hmm. Tommy Emmanuel gave me and we were like talking about boxers one time. And if I was to go with the boxing name, it would be the Welsh tornado.
Right. I forgot about that.
That's how the song came about. But you threw it in there because
yeah,
I think I was doing a festival in Ralta in Holland with Tommy one time, and I was like going back and forth because Joe Karzaki was fighting, so I was telling him about like boxing stuff like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So, but that pretty much covers that artwork. Is there stuff on the back that you want to talk about? I mean, I love how the direction you went with the song titles. You just kept it pretty loose, and you did like a design for like each title, really.
Yeah, it just kind of had a different just typography, decorative approach for each song to kind of try and match the feeling of each song. And yeah, so Blue Smoke, Buddy Holly, it's like very loose. My style is very loose in this, where I was at this time. So it's like kind of gets the idea of it, but I think I probably did each one of these like on the first shot. I didn't really go back in and think too hard about them. I literally I think these were probably the first pass that I did at each, like writing out each title. And then I just, like, you can see the whole style of it is very loose and asymmetrical and not it's just very like fun and free and loose. So yeah, I'm looking at it too. I'm just looking at all the little decisions, see if there's anything hidden in here. Time to Pretend. Yeah, like for instance, like I remember like Time to Pretend, like I stretched out the E to kind of represent time.
Like it's dragging on.
Yeah, so just weird things, fragile. I don't know. It's just stream of consciousness. I wasn't thinking about it, just whatever came to mind. But yeah, it's just, I think we just did that, and it's cool working with you on everything because usually like whatever I do, you're into, which is great. We'll find out though on the third album, we did like we had a whole direction that we didn't abandon. It kind of evolved, but we spent a lot of time just playing around with stuff. And you liked everything, but we just kind of, it's like we like what we're doing, but we just keep going until we know it's right, kind of thing.
Right.
So yeah, that was kind of how the front and the back came to be. And then the inside panels, like you could see here, this is actually, I could flip it. There is no real.
Just went with a layout that worked for the credits and the song title information, and then you got the you've taken the balloons from the actual artwork itself, the cover, and stuck it.
Yeah.
Do you have a shot of how you did the CD?
Yes, I do. I'm just looking at the typography. My typography back then it's improved.
Your typography? What?
Yeah, just the layout of the type. Just the way it's laid out. I'm just being critical on myself. Yeah, so this was the CD disc face itself. So I think I drew it separately, but it was sort of taking that idea of where the actual title came from with the ripples, the urban echo ripples, the echoing, and then I just kind of came up with this idea of having these ripples kind of come out from the center of the hole in the CD, and
like as if it's being dropped in there, eh?
Right. Which is kind of
cool.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Yeah, I don't remember the thought process, but it just sort of happened. And then I don't remember the choice to make this in color, but oh, you know what it was? I think I kind of took the two main colors from the front disc, the blue and the there's kind of contrasting blue and yellow, and just brought that in to the disc face.
Right.
That's kind of where that decision came from.
Oh, I think also quick thing. If you go back to the artwork, I'm just looking now to try and pick something up, and the reason why we went with that shot of me in the sky, it's to reflect on every time we fall. So I'm initially falling.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I only just picked up on that now.
Yeah. I'm trying to see which ones did we miss any adrenaline rush. Well, I mean, I guess the whole thing is just like kind of crazy.
Right. Obviously, we're not tackling everything, but it's like whatever was working within the artwork. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, that's super cool.
Awesome. Yeah, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, how long did this one take for us to do?
I don't remember. It didn't take too long though. I don't remember us spending that much time on it. Like we pretty much came up with the idea and we just executed on it.
Yeah.
Happened pretty quickly. All right, should we jump into volume 2?
Yeah. And that's another thing as well. We were working together exactly like this. We were either Skyping or iChatting.
Yeah.
And just, screen sharing and stuff like that. So that's how we were doing that.
So when did this album come out?
I think that came out 2 years later. That came out in 2012, I believe. So I listened to this album. I don't think it's kind of like one of those albums you go through. I was going through the emotions for sure. Mm-hmm. I think I went through my first ever breakup. So I was just writing emotional guitar pieces and stuff like that. And
yeah,
I was living away from home. I was living in Quebec City at the time. So
right,
I was kind of like longing for my family and all that. So,
right. Yeah. Talk a little bit about the songs, the song selection, and just, like what you're saying, where you're at in your life with this album.
Yeah. So let's have a look. Such Great Heights is a postal service song that I arranged I think that was like one of the first songs I actually arranged. I just didn't put it on my first record,
Right.
but I managed to put that on my second record, and I think I recorded this. I recorded a lot of the instrumentation in the UK at Mono Valley Studios. My brother was helping with the production on this, as he's done a lot of the production ideas on all three records. And so I wanted to do Such Great Heights, and it was a different concept than the first record, where I did half covers, half originals. For this one, I just did Such Great Heights, the cover, and I kept it to just strictly originals then for this particular album. So Cold Comfort is like a kind of like a breakup song, I guess. Here we go. We're getting heavy now. And then Lunar Moon is a track that I wrote for a friend of mine, Sanya, who's a circus performer. And she had like a routine where she was hanging from a moon. And, she was an aerial artist, an aerial acrobat. So she loved my guitar playing and asked me to write a piece for her to perform that routine to. So I did that, and we managed to do a couple of corporate events. And yeah, so I figured I'd put that on the album. And obviously we'll see what you did there for that. But
yeah, it was. I think the idea was basically to continue this, like it was the next volume in the comic book series. So, kind of continuing in this universe that we created with the first one. And it's funny, I'm looking at it because I remember I was in art school at the time when we did both albums, and it's funny because I'm like incorporating the things that I was starting to learn about. Like there's actual shading. If you look at like the first one, it's all flat line work. There's no real shading besides just like cross hatching. But in this one, there's actual like shadow and value of like black and white. So it's funny to see. Like I was applying the skills that I was learning in art school to the artwork. So it's like you were evolving with your art and where you were at, but I was also applying things that I was learning about, just putting together these different shading and specifically in shadow. So we kept it moving.
I remember you started this with the concept of the room 408 in space, and I'm trying to think of the terms. Was it a 3-point perspective? What was the?
Yeah, it's a 3-point perspective. So it's like it's just a very dynamic angle to see something from. So like this one is kind of flat. This would be considered a 3-point perspective here. These buildings, but like this here is like flat, but it's kind of just a weird like cubist sort of approach. And this one is more. I was attempting to try and make it more realistic, I guess, in terms of the space that we were creating. But it all kind of like started with this room 408 floating in space. I don't remember this project as much, like the thought process. Maybe you could speak to.
Yeah, well, we were in a big rush to get this one done.
Right.
So I'm happy with the turnout of what we were able to accomplish in that amount of time, because you actually had a lot going on with your career at that point. You were in the Pilot Kids. You were working with Tricky Stewart. And I felt like bad because you have all those kind of cool things going on. I'm like calling you up saying, "Yo, we need to meet up and to finish up the artwork." So this one was a little bit of a rush, I remember, and I was applying the pressure on you to get some ideas and things done. So yeah, I'm trying to think.
I think I was still, I don't know, 2012 this came out.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was still in college or just getting ready to graduate college. So yeah, I remember we were at different points in our lives, and we were kind of This one was like a little bit more of different process, I guess.
So I'm trying to think of what themes we didn't tackle as many themes as the first record, but I can already see that we did. Like if we zoom in on Sanya there on the left, we got kind of like this. She's an aerial artist, so she's in that moon that she does her routine in, but you managed to make the moon turn it into a skeleton to reflect on Skeletor's wedding day.
Right.
Let's have a look here.
Whoops.
Then you got, zoom in on those legs.
There we go.
Yeah. And then we got, let's have a look.
Cold Comfort here, just this whole...
That's Cold Comfort right there. That was the end of that relationship in a nutshell.
So emo.
Yeah, it's going very emo. Get back to those emo roots.
Yeah.
So, that's like basically what's going on there is the Cold Comfort. We're just hanging out, but there's no love there, no love. And I'm about to just jump out of that room into
eternity.
Into eternity, into space, where no one can hear my cries.
Certainly not.
And so I think those are basically the themes that we covered on that.
Yeah, this one was more moody. This was more like about a mood.
Right.
It was like this was kind of the mood that you were in at the time. It was just like the way that this feels is more, it was like more about a mood. The whole feeling of it. It wasn't as like illustrative, like this represents this. It's kind of just the whole mood of that you were in at the time.
Yeah, I should have probably asked you to throw in a guitar in there just to let people know what this record's about.
No time for that.
No time for that.
Yeah, I'm seeing too. Like if we were to add more things, like I could have put M&Ms, like here, like going off into the distance. We could have put Jan? Is it John? Jan the Man?
Jan the Man. Yeah, that's
Jan the Man.
That's my dedication to Mr. Jan Akkerman.
Yeah,
Dutch guitar genius.
Would have put him just floating out here.
Yeah, go from Jan in there anyway.
Yeah. Run. Oh, and then Run SB. That's Stephen Bennett, right? Run SB.
That's
Run.
Stephen Bennett, Mr. Stephen Bennett.
Yeah, we could have put him over here running away. You know all that. That's how we would have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a cool one.
Could have done a Kung Fu stare down too, but yeah, we needed to get this one done ASAP. So.
Yes. So let's see the inside. Same kind of thing.
Yeah. So you tried to keep the brand of this consistent too, in terms of you used. Is that the punch, the boxing glove from the album one?
Yeah, it's like this seal that we had that we kind of took this.
Oh wait, no. So you used that boxing glove for the first one as a seal, and you used the guess it's the meteorite,
the meteor or something.
Meteor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just kind of bring some consistency and then evolve it, and then I guess here we have the clockwork, right? The clock. I don't know. Clockwork Party. We have like a gear from a clock.
Yeah, that's from the. Is that from the first record too?
That's from that's track 6. Looks like on this.
That is, yeah. You're right.
We don't even know. You're like, what?
I don't even know. Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. And of course, then you did the same CD idea.
Right. The disc face. Let me bring that up.
You took the disc from Urban Echoes Vol.1.
Yes, this was it here. Oh, my typography is so much better now. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Oh, this is actual. Yeah, so there's a lot of just theme and variation between the first and the second record because they're obviously part of the same series. So wanted to keep play, take a theme, take a certain illustration style, and then evolve it and vary it.
Right.
So that was sort of, just keeping that thread between the two records. It's kind of where we arrived. And then did you decide that you were only going to do volume 1 and volume 2, or were you not sure if you were going to continue it at this point? Do you remember?
Well, there was a long period between volume 2 and my third album. And I kind of just wanted to start something new in terms of that. But if I can say about the color schemes for, I think I was reflecting the purple and the yellow because of Skeletor colors. I think that's why I went with that.
I could show this real quick. We don't have to spend too much time on it, but we did do a t-shirt design.
Oh, that was I was going to mention that just now.
Yeah, so we did this, looks like 2012. So yeah, right around when you released volume 2, we did this shirt design.
Yeah, and we never made those t-shirts.
Oh, you never made them?
No. I was trying to sell I had a t-shirt bot up with on my first tour in the States. I had like my GP logo, which is kind of on volume 2. You put it on the corner of volume 2. Yeah. So I had that and I wanted it basically a small little Superman kind of thing on the chest. and I said silver, and I went to pick up the t-shirts, and it was in glitter.
It was in glitter?
So like, yeah, it was, and they were like falling apart all over the place. So I had no choice but to take them on tour anyway and try and sell them. But I think I had like 50 of them made, and they just were. I think I only sold like 5 of them or something like that. The only people that are interested in it were like really flamboyant people that love glitter,
like 12-year-old girls.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, I didn't know. I thought you had them made. That's funny.
No, I didn't. If there's a demand, guys, if you're listening to this and you want these t-shirts, maybe I'll get them maybe we'll get some patches made. Well,
now what you can do, like print on demand, you can just put it up on your website, and then if people order it, you don't have to order like that. You just print them as the orders come in.
Okay.
So might be a little side hustle for you.
I mean, you put in the work for it, might as well, benefit from it somehow.
Let's do it. Well, that's sort of the idea. We kind of just want to share more of the process, because we've been friends now for over a decade, which is crazy. And you know how it is as being an artist. You kind of just get caught up in like the perfection of everything, like trying to make everything perfect. But part of why we just even wanted to make this video is to just share more of the process behind what we're doing, and invite people into a little bit about our friendship and how we like to collaborate and make art and that sort of a thing. So hopefully it's the beginning of more content like this. For show. Tweak on Antique.
Let's have a tweak on Antique. Let's
roll into it. So this one we actually documented a lot of the process, which is really cool, because we went off the deep end. Well, we didn't go off the deep end, but we were really just exploring this whole style and this version that ended up not being what we used at all. So it's really cool that we actually have the recording of it. Yeah, I mean, it really shows our ADD, because we were like for 4 hours just making this whole other version of it that we'd end up using. So let's see, where do we begin? So I have design process. Well, let's show the final product, and then I'll scrub through some of the process videos. What is this?
That was so my friend Maggie Helen, she's the one that took these photos.
Right.
So I want to do something completely crazy for this thing. So as you can see, I'm on my kitchen. This is my old house in Ottawa, Canada, and I just set up a table somewhere put the guitar on the table with my record player that my brother and sister-in-law got me from, I think it was like, we got it from Amazon.
Yeah.
And my cat like was on the table too, and I'm like, that's a great prop. So we ended up just taking a bunch of shots. I was trying to be very, as you can see, very cartoonish for the for the album cover.
Yes.
The shot that we actually used, that was just to test the lighting.
Right.
That would obviously, you can see where the direction I would wanted to go down, but I think we just ended up going with more of a retro, classy look.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. So with all of these, well, really, I guess like with the first in Urban Echoes Volume 1 and then this one, you had a title in mind. You had your idea of what you wanted to call it and what it meant to you, and then you took it upon yourself to do photo shoots for those, and then you kind of came to me with those images, and then from there I used those as the source material to build the artwork around it. So I don't really know. I wasn't part of the process when you came up with the title or when you shot this and chose the prop. So maybe if you want, I can go through the photo shoot, because this is kind of what you sent me. So maybe talk a little bit about your process of how you came up with the title.
I don't think we need to go through the photo shoot.
Okay.
I'll avoid people seeing the monstrosity of the photos I went through. We got an example, but I think this is the one, that photo there, though, that's the one we went with. As you can see, it's the first photo we took.
Right.
And that was just me doing a dumb pose to check the...
Right.
Wait, I'm just seeing now. I think I used one of my lights to hold up the record player. And I think you edited the record player. You had to.
Yeah. I actually have the video of me editing out all of these items, the phone, the tuner, this stuff here, and then that I had to actually edit it out. But I'll go through the process video now, because we actually, like you said, we didn't start off with this photo. We started off with a different one, and then we kind of built this whole other design, and then towards the end I think I was not into it. I was like, something about this feels just
you said something like, because the thing is, we had the concept and we were so far from it at this point. Basically what you're going to see is a bunch of failed ideas, and then what it is to just bail on that and just go with something simple. Yeah,
this is actually really cool that we have this. So this video here, this is an hour and 48 minutes. Okay, so I think this is part one of the process. We were going through the photos, we were looking through them, and we decided to use this one for whatever reason. We're like, okay, we're gonna build this like world around it. You kind of wanted it to be cartoony, and I don't know. So I started cutting you out, cropping it to a square. I think we changed it, moving the cat around, just starting to do weird stuff. I was trying to just isolate all the objects so that I could move them around at will.
That's it. We went for like, you just got a Donald Fagen. I wanted to do like the Donald Fagen there.
Right, Nightfly. Yeah, that was a reference. So it's like we had that in mind, but we started to just create this weird, oh, there you are. So here's us on whatever, Skype or something, and you're playing the guitar, I'm just doing my thing. Yeah, so this was an inspiration that you came up with, right? Nightfly?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you had that inspiration in mind before you took the photos, right? With the idea of the record player and...
Right.
Yeah, so we were using that as a reference, but we kind of got very far from it because we started to just collage and Photoshop. It just got weird. So you could see here, just getting different inspiration references. We're looking at different kinds of typography and like circus typography, circus fonts, and antique fonts. So it got weird, but we just kept going with it. And
you know what though, like looking at that looks half bad.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. But we kept going. That's the thing. Like, we would get to a point where it would look kind of cool, and then I would. It was mainly me, and you just egg me on. Like, you just be like, "Yeah, keep going."
Actually, I got nothing else better to do than waste your time right now.
Yeah, so that could be a cool poster, though.
Oh, we went there. We went for Dave Fingerpickers Took Over the World kind of look.
Yeah, so we're looking.
I was like, obviously, Tommy's a huge influence on me.
Right.
So like looking at some stuff there. I think I saw some Jerry Reed imagery going through this too, eh?
Yeah, we were looking at all kinds of stuff, psychedelic posters, and so what is the title? A tweak on antique. Maybe talk a little bit about that while I'm.
So, excuse me. That was based around the idea of like, I'm again like Urban Echoes Volume 1 and 2, primarily Volume 1. I want to show the influence of my styles and just like basically my roots, take different vibes from the roots. If I look at certain songs, like Dust Devil is a very Jerry Reed esque type song, but like every one of these in production with my brother, and I also had Antoine Dufour do the production on some of these too. It's like we were referencing the old school sounds but just modifying them a bit, so it's kind of like that's where the tweak kind of came in. So right. You got Dust Devil. Waltz number 2 is a very like, you know, I got a Gretsch Country Gentleman to do that. My good friend of mine, his name's John Wright. He provided that the Gretsch, and I ended up playing like a very old school style Czech waltz, and trying to create those kind of vibes from, I think it's records like 3 Dimension, Fingerstyle Guitar. So yeah, I'm kind of just mirroring certain things. Daisy Bell is basically a Mil Travis arrangement, but sonically we were just, you know, basically we're adding compression. That's basically it.
Yeah. Chet Atkins with compression.
You added a bow tie on.
I don't know why.
My old cat Tarquin.
It's kind of cool. There's a lot of cool ideas here, but it just got too much.
You put
a hat on him.
This is where like we just start losing it. I think this is just because the concept of the artwork that works right there. It's super cool,
right? And
then all of a sudden we started putting a top hat on the cat.
Well, I just kept going, and then I'm like, wait, what if the top hat was on you? And they were like, yeah, which one? Should it be on the cat or should it be on you? I think I moved it at one point.
I think I remember the line you said as well, like, that's it right there. That's the look. And then you were trying to persuade me to actually have a top hat on for the rest of my career. And I'm like, no, I don't think so.
You're like, wait a second, maybe. Yeah, I don't know what we were doing. We were just... Oh, what is this? I was going to put the actual album on the table. It's kind of cool. It's very breaking the fourth wall. Very... okay. Oh, we're looking at Passion Play. Yeah, I was looking at all kinds of album references. Yeah, so it just got crazy. You can see here. It's just getting more weird.
I know it gets proper weird in a bit. I think we went down like a Dr. Dre kind of.
So now here, I love it.
We went down the Chronic kind of concept.
Yeah. Oh, we were laying it out. We were like, all right, this is it. I was starting to lay it out on the. But yeah, something in me was like, I wasn't sold on it yet, and I never really got completely sold on it. That's why we ended up going in a different direction. So let's see. We kind of got to this point here. Oh wow, this gets crazy. So let's see. This is the final process video. So this is where we kind of came into the new, what ended up being the final design. What is this?
I remember we were going down.
Looney Tunes? Yeah, you were like, what if I'm coming out of like a Looney Tunes? So you would suggest something and then I would just run with it for like an hour and a half.
These are initially my bad ideas. You're using a Thumbpick to wrap around my waist.
This is so bad.
Oh my goodness.
What? Yeah, we're like, oh yeah, what if you were like, we showed you from the back. This is crazy. Yeah, we were invested. This video is 4 hours long.
Obviously, as well. Like, hold on a second. Like, I have this way as well about trying to be a perfectionist on this. Mm-hmm. So I'm asking you to like shift things. Like, we'll go, oh, can you just move it 1 millimeter to the left and see if that works? And you just like oblige. You're like, yeah, all right, and knowing that this is going to make any difference whatsoever. Now we're like,
right.
Oh, maybe you need to change the color of my T-shirt to blue. Maybe that's why it's not working.
Meanwhile,
so I think at this point, yeah, we were, before you move on.
Mm-hmm.
This was like kind of going, what Eminem song or artwork was it?
The Eminem show.
The Eminem show, yeah. So this is where we're at right now. We've gone from Donald Fagen to Eminem style, and
it's just something was just we were starting to reach the end of the line with like it's just not.
I don't think so. I thought it's coming up soon. Surely we got the Dr. Dre. I think that was when we were at the end. Here we go.
Oh, so now we started to think about different images. I remember I was like, maybe that we use a different shot of you. I don't know what I was up to. Is that Dr. Dre there? Yeah. What is that? You could see the ADD. You could see the like. You would probably come up with like, oh, what about Dr. Dre, the Chronic, and I just run with it.
Is that Michael Keaton?
Where? There's Dr. Phil.
It's Dr. Phil. I'm pretty sure I just saw Michael Keaton on the Chronic album cover.
Probably. So I think this was the last thing we tried before. I wish I had the audio. Okay, so yeah, here's the turning point. I don't have the audio, but yeah, we kind of went back and we looked at it and we're like, wait a second. This is so simple. It's literally a photo of him that is that just has like a color grading over it to create a mood. And it's just it's mature and it's simple and it's elegant and it's iconic looking, and there's no Photoshop. There's just a mood that's created with a color grade that's over the image. So I remember just kind of clearing the deck and coming back to baseline, and I remember we talked about where you're at with this album, and we were having fun goofing around, but we were just talking about how I think I was saying something about just wanting to portray you in a more mature light and kind of breaking off, because this was not part of the Urban Echoes cartoon world anymore. This was a new part of a new just direction. So yeah, just breaking that visual language that we were creating with this cartoon comic book kind of feel, and just being like, wait, we should just maybe just try something different that's more mature and that is iconic.
Right, and you know what? There's a big lesson in that too, like in terms of what we're doing here, and also musically. If an idea isn't working, you kind of just got to abandon it.
Yeah.
Because clearly something wasn't settling, otherwise we would have figured it out and it would have been there.
Right.
So I think at that point we were going through all this stuff and all the chaos and ideas.
Right.
And then I think it took you I think you're the one that said, like, okay, let's just go back to the basics.
Yeah.
And you just give a good analysis of what that was about.
Right. Yeah. And I think what's always fun about us working together is that, like, clearly we had fun doing, working for however many hours that was, 6 hours probably in total of this other idea. And we were having fun. We weren't frustrated at any point, but we were just kind of following our intuition. But eventually it led us to a point where it's like, I think in the creative process, if you get to a point where you kind of just need to abandon all of the work that you did, it doesn't mean that work was not important, but sometimes that's part of the process. Is you have to iterate to the point where you exhaust an idea to realize like, okay, that's not the direction to go in. And so just kind of having that ability to just move on and try something else, and just it's kind of what we did with this. So I remember just going back to the drawing board. We kind of came back to this reference, which was a really important reference. It's kind of where the whole scene came from, was this cover. So we went back to the main thing that I noticed is like, well, he's not really, it's like moody and dark, and he's not goofy. He's kind of pensive and deep in thought, and it's his actual expression is contributing a lot to the mood and what's being communicated in the image. So that was the main thing that I noticed that was different about the image that we were using here. It's like, it was just like the complete opposite of what your face was expressing. So I was like, wait, maybe we try like a different mood in your actual, in the photo. So that was kind of what led me to just look at that first one. And it's funny because when you go in, like originally we thought that you were like, oh, well, don't even look at that photo. That was the one where I was not even ready for the shot. That was just a throwaway. But when we came back to it with a different just lens and perspective, it stood out, and we're like, oh, that kind of communicates like maturity and pensiveness, and it shows you in a different light than the past two records. So I think we came back to it and we're like, oh, this could be really cool. So so it was just kind of like looking at the whole thing with fresh eyes and just thinking like, maybe we could just keep this minimal and not go crazy with all kinds of Photoshop stuff. So we kind of both liked this shot and this composition, just how I cropped it. And then from there, we just decided that we decided which items we shouldn't be in the shot. And for whatever reason, I guess we chose to keep your phone in, but everything else, and the cat too, we kept the cat. But I just kind of went in and I started Photoshopping out the items that we didn't want. So I took out the camera. Let's see. I took out the tuner first. Then I took out the pen, the camera, whatever. Is it your wallet?
No, that's I don't know why that was in there. I think I was just wanted something to open it up a bit. Excuse me. Open up the record player more, but it's my LED light.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that one was tricky to get out. I think I got that out last.
Or did you Photoshop a different record player in there?
I don't remember. Let's see. I got to it, I guess, towards the end. So yeah. No. Sorry. Yeah, you just took out that. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Oh, I guess we kept it in.
No, you just managed to Photoshop out the light.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so we kept the cat in. And then I remember I was starting to just kind of create a little bit of a mood. I wanted to have like a certain color grade over the whole thing, so I used this filter here. And I remember it was like as soon as I landed on it, I was like, yeah, that's the one. It was this one right here. And it was just completely different than, it was almost like in my mind, like whatever would make it feel as much different, like the most different from the other two albums. Like that's what I was looking for, like that contrast of just in terms of color palette, like this green yellow kind of color palette, more of like a warmer sort of a warmer tone in terms of color. Whereas the first two records were kind of cool. They were like cool blue and like the purples. So I wanted something that was like a contrast to I was thinking about your first two records also. Like how can we make this feel as like contrasted to the first two records as possible? So that's kind of...
I love it as well because it's kind of like it makes it feel antique as
right.
well. that's probably why you landed on that.
Right. We were taking that idea of a tweak on antique, and we were thinking, how can we communicate antique and with a different visual tool, or instead of, actually illustrating it, which is the first two projects were like illustrating the idea of it with symbols. But here we wanted it to feel antique with the actual, we wanted it to feel like an old record, just in the way that the colors were. And yeah, so let's see, is that the end of that video?
I think you must have fixed up something later on then.
Oh, I see.
I can already see with my OCD kicking in that you would have straightened up the capo on the.
Oh, right, yeah. I think we fixed that.
My G7 capos.
Shout out to G7.
Shout out G7. Greatest capos in the world with their new ART technology.
That'd be cool.
Adaptive radius technology.
Get them in. Get a little sponsor action in here. Yeah, so then let's see. We kept the title really simple. I just remember we got to the point where we really liked the image, and then I think I was just like, let's keep it really modern and minimal with how we do the typography. And I just remember coming up with the idea of just keeping it really simple and going up vertically along the side there. You just kept it in knockout white. And then I think that was the end of the video, but let me pull up the final artwork. Let's see here. Yeah, I really like how this is probably my favorite of the three albums. Was this the final one? Let's see.
Again, I would have given you the music while you were doing a lot of this stuff, the final touches or whatnot, right?
Yeah, so we had I think this here, I don't remember. Something about this I had to Photoshop because it didn't exist or something. But yeah, so we kept it really simple and just had this this space carry over onto the back of the album, the space of the room. And yeah, we did end up fixing the capo. I don't remember at what point. It looks pretty good though. I don't know.
No, that's awesome.
How I did it, but and I remember the choice of keeping the phone in. I thought it kept it made it feel modern, like the cell phone. Because if you take the cell phone out, I guess, even though this is a record player from Amazon, it could have felt like it was from a different era, maybe. But I liked the idea of the phone being in it because it made it feel like it was an old, it could have been a vintage record, but the phone kind of keeps it modern. So just that push and pull of the antique with the modern time. Yeah, and then the layout on the back, I just kept it really, really simple. And you want to talk maybe a little bit about the songs?
The songs? Yeah, I could do. Like there's nothing that's reflecting that really. The only song I could really say is Thunderpaws is the nickname of my old cat there, Tarquin. Mainly because every time he walked into the room, he would like stamp down loudly.
Thunderpaws.
Thunderpaws, yeah. I just ended up calling him Thunderpaws because, it's for a cat, it shouldn't make that much noise, but he was so loud. So I wrote a little cheesy tune, and then it developed into like a full arrangement song. So,
and there he is.
That's a very enthusiastic description of that.
And he's right
there. There he is. Had to put him down last year.
We should have
shed a tear.
Oh, you did, really?
Yeah, but let's not get into that.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
So
Cool.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's the artwork. And
Yeah.
what year did this come out? 2018?
I can't remember now.
Is that when you released it? I guess so. It looks like.
Was it on you? 2018, yeah. So
any plans? Right. Any plans for a new one?
On with a new record
Should we do the artwork right now?
for the new album?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, should we call it? This has been a really fun kind of trip down memory lane for sure.
Yeah. No, this is awesome, and it's weird that this is over a decade of us knowing each other, a decade of your music career, and right now, like, you're working. Do you have a lot of song? Would you say you have enough music for a new record?
Yeah, I'm going to be releasing more stuff now on. Let's see. On my YouTube channel and Instagram and all that, but I'm going to be setting up a platform soon to do more tutorial things. So that'll be fun to venture down that. What about you? Is there anything you want to promote right now?
Not really. Yeah, we're just. I know me and you we're talking about doing some more projects together. So we'll have some stuff if we can gather our ADD brains to land on one of them to work on, but that'll be fun. And this is kind of the first one, right? For us to just share a little bit more of our process and just get a little bit looser with just letting people into the things that we're working on and the ideas that we had. So hopefully this will be get some momentum going for us to work on, finish some of the other projects.
I was going to say, you've worked with a couple of fingerstyle artists too, and musicians in this kind of niche world. You've done. I know you've worked with Joe Robinson.
Yeah, I did his first album, his first like singer-songwriter album. Let Me Introduce You. So I did that. I think after your first, in between Urban Echoes Vol.1 and 2 is when I did his. I think it was. So that was cool, and then I did some artwork for a couple of other Candyrat artists, Hunter Van Larkins, and then a failed album artwork for Don Ross that never came out.
Right.
But we won't share that. But yeah.
Okay.
But that was fun to just get to work with some other of the Candyrat artists. And yeah, I haven't really done any album artwork in a while, but it's funny. Maybe you can attest to, just as an artist, sometimes you go through different phases. For me, I do music and design. I've always just kind of done both to support myself. So I've kind of been in a season of working for a media company, doing a lot of managing a design team, and not really even designing the past like year and a half. Just kind of managing other designers and not focusing on music as much. And so now I'm just figuring out the next, what the next season's going to look like. If I'm going to be designing more, so I'm not really sure, but I'd love to jump back into designing again, even just looking at all this stuff and seeing how fun the process is. And I love being able to bring somebody's musical ideas to life. Like, obviously this is your whole catalog of albums that you have. So to be able to create the artwork for it and help you, communicate what it's about and just like lock that into your repertoire and your history, it's such an honor to be able to do. So that's why I like doing working with music artists, because I'm a musician myself, and I really like to be part of that legacy for artists and help create that moment in time for their music. So I'd love to jump back into it and work on some new projects. It's making me want to do it again. Yeah,
as well. I think I just want to get another project out there just so we can have another good laugh and go over these concepts.
Let's do it.
Cool. All right, man. Well, this has been a blast, and just chatting as always, and looking through this stuff. I'm going to put some links in the description box below if people that want to get a hold of you, and for any projects that you're releasing out there too. But
cool.
without further ado, thanks for listening, guys. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Cheerio.